Hey everyone! Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating places on the internet. It's a virtual world where you're not just some player, you're an owner. Yeah, we're talking about Decentraland. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me ask you something. Just think about it for a second. What if you could build, own, and actually profit from a piece of the internet itself? I mean, what if those digital spaces where you hang out weren't owned by some giant corporation, but by you and people like you? It's a massive idea, right? And honestly, that's the whole concept we're digging into. Okay, so let's get right into it. Section 1, a new virtual frontier. This is where we're going to see how Decentraland is turning that big what if question into something you can actually see and touch. Well, digitally anyway. So, what is Decentraland really? At its core, it's the pioneering decentralized metaverse built on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, I know that's a mouthful, so let's break it down. Decentralized just means no single company calls the shots. The users do. It all runs on Ethereum, which is basically this super secure public record of everything. And the best part? The stuff you own in there, like land and cool gear, are NFTs. Just think of an NFT as a digital deed. It's undeniable proof that you and only you own that digital asset. And, this isn't some fly-by-night project that just popped up. Decentraland actually opened its doors to the public way back in 2020. Since then, it's blossomed into this really vibrant hub for events, art, and just hanging out. And looking forward, the outlook is super strong. People are forecasting steady activity and growth all the way to 2026 and even further. Okay, now for the part I know you've been waiting for. We know what it is on paper, but what can you actually do there? Let's dive inside this digital world. Honestly, the amount of stuff to do is kind of mind-blowing. It's a whole universe of experiences. You can go to virtual concerts and parties, wander through these incredible immersive art galleries, or even play games built by other users. We're seeing major brands host fashion shows, their crypto conferences, you name it. But here's the real game changer. You can be the one creating all this stuff. You can build your own worlds and even make money from them. And that is exactly why people call it a cornerstone of Web3. Remember, Web3 is this big idea of a new internet, one that's owned by us, the users. So Decentraland isn't just some game. Nope, it's a fundamental building block of that whole vision. It's a platform for creators and communities to thrive. So you're probably thinking, okay, I'm in. How do I get started? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Step 1, you buy a piece of land on the marketplace. Step 2, you create your avatar, your digital self, and deck it out with wearables and other NFTs. Then, you can either start building on your own land or just go exploring to see what other people have made. And finally, you just jump in, go to events, meet people, and hey, if you've built something cool, you can even start earning from it. This brings us to a really crucial part, the ownership economy. This is where we see how all these digital assets, well, they have real-world value. It's pretty revolutionary. Okay, get this. The entire world is made up of just over 90,000 ownable parcels of land. That's it. There will never be any more. And just like real estate in the physical world, that scarcity, that's a huge part of what gives it value. So how does this whole economy tick? Well, first, you've got the mana token. That's the cash of Decentraland, used for everything. Then you've got land, which we just talked about, the NFT real estate. And maybe most importantly, you have the DAO. That sounds complicated, but a DAO is basically just a system where the community, the actual users, gets to vote on how the platform is run. All these pieces work together to give creators the power to earn real money from their work. But look, let's be real, nothing's perfect. It's super important to have a balanced view here. The pros, they're massive. You get true digital ownership, total creative freedom, and that awesome community-led governance. Now, on the flip side, because it runs right in your web browser, it can feel a little clunky sometimes, especially compared to a dedicated video game. And for sure, there's a ton of competition from newer platforms popping up all the time. So where does that leave us? What's the final verdict? Let's wrap things up and take a look at what the future could hold for this digital frontier. A lot of people think Decentraland is poised for a big metaverse revival, and there are two main reasons for that optimism. First, they've integrated with Polygon, which is a tech upgrade that basically makes transactions cheaper and faster. Huge win. And second, the community is just so active and dedicated, and that creates a really solid base to build on for the future. And that optimism isn't just talk. It shows up in the financial forecast, too. Some predictions have the mana token going past $1 by 2026.
That's a pretty strong signal of confidence in its long-term value.
So, when you weigh all the pros and cons, our final score for Decentraland is a really impressive 4.7 out of 5 stars. I mean, that's a huge testament to its revolutionary idea and the community that keeps it alive.
And that brings me to the last thing I want you to think about. Our digital and physical lives are merging more and more every single day. So a project like this forces us to ask a really important question. As we build this next world, who do you want in charge? Do you want it to be a handful of giant corporations, or do you want it to be you,